Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about CS50P Week 0 and what we learned about functions and variables in Python. This week was all about understanding the basics of how Python programs work and how to structure our code in a clean and simple way. We started with the classic Hello World program. We created a file called hello.py and wrote a simple print statement to display Hello World on the screen. When we run Python hello.py, Python reads the file and executes the code line by line. This shows us how Python works as an interpreter and how it turns our instructions into action. After that, we move to functions. A function is a block of code that performs a specific task. The print function is a simple example. It takes text as input and displays it on the terminal. The text inside the parentheses is called an argument, and the result that appears on the screen is called a side effect. We also talked about bugs, which are simply errors or problems in the program. When something goes wrong, Python gives us an error message, and we need to read it carefully to understand what needs to be fixed. Then we learned about variables. A variable is like a container that stores a value. Instead of writing fixed text every time, we can store a name or a number inside a variable and reuse it in different parts of the program. This makes our programs more dynamic and flexible. Next, we explored comments. Comments are lines that Python ignores and are only used to explain the code. They help us remember what each part of the program is doing and can also be used to plan our logic before writing the actual code. We also looked at string formatting. This allows us to combine variables and text in a clean way. Instead of manually joining words, we can format the output so it looks more natural and readable. Another important concept was methods. Methods are functions that belong to specific types of data. For example, we can remove spaces from text or capitalize the first letter of a name. This helps us clean user input and make the output more professional. We also discussed data types like strings, integers, and floats. Strings represent text, integers represent whole numbers, and floats represent decimal numbers. Understanding these types is important because Python treats each one differently when performing operations. Then we learned how to create our own functions using the def keyword. We define a function, write the instructions inside it, and then call it when we need it. Usually, we organize the program using a main function that controls the flow of the program and calls other functions. Now let's talk about the tip calculator problem set that we completed in this week. The goal of the tip calculator was to create a small program that calculates how much tip to leave after a meal. The program asks the user for the meal price and the tip percentage. After that, it calculates the final tip and prints the result with 2 decimal places. To solve this, we created a main function that handles user input. Then we created a function to convert the dollar input into a float by removing the dollar sign. We also created another function to convert the percentage into a decimal number by removing the percent sign and dividing by 100. Finally, we multiplied the meal price by the percentage to get the tip and printed the result in a clean format. This problem set helped us understand how to break a program into smaller functions and keep the code organized and readable. Each function had a single responsibility, and the main function connected everything together. By the end of week 0, we learned the foundation of Python programming, including functions, variables, comments, data types, and user input. We also built our first real program, which is the tip calculator. That is it for CS50P Week 0. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing and following the series because in the next video, we will move deeper into Python and explore more concepts step by step. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.